city. It was my first trip on planet Earth, and I started big. A big city with big buildings, big personalities, and big music history. New York was the birthplace of hip-hop, doo-wop, bebop, and punk rock. Oh, I'm so excited to show you what I saw. Behind me is Washington Square Park. After World War II, the park became a meeting place for what was then known as beatniks to play folk music on Sunday afternoons. By the early 60s, the city fathers, in an effort to get rid of the undesirable element, denied the group a permit to play in the park. So they protested by singing the national anthem, which is a folk song. In the East Village, right here on McDougal Street, is the Cafe Wha. The Cafe Wha saw the beginning of the career of Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, and the Velvet Underground, and comedians like Joan Rivers and Lenny Bruce. But Rivers says I'm not old enough to listen to them yet. So, behind me, in a fairly nondescript location, is Electric Lady Studios. It started out as a nightclub, and in 1968 was bought by Jimi Hendrix and converted into a recording studio. Hendrix only got to record there for a short time before he died. But since then, a lot of people have recorded there, like AC/DC, David Bowie, Blondie, The Clash, Bob Dylan, Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, and Chuck Berry. If the building behind me looks familiar, it's because it's the front cover of Led Zeppelin's physical graffiti. This is the corner where the New York Dolls shot the back cover of their first album. Bob Dylan sat on those steps. There are some really great music murals all over New York, too. The site of the Fillmore East is now a bank, so that's weird. We are here at Union Square, where behind me, the Deckard Building, was the home of Andy Warhol's factory on the 6th floor. This is during the time where he was managing the Velvet Underground. This used to be Max's Kansas City. It was a nightclub and restaurant that was a hangout for artists, musicians, and poets in the 60s and 70s. Most notably, Andy Warhol and his entourage. The Velvet Underground played here regularly. It was the New York home base of the glam rock scene of Mark Bolan, David Bowie, Iggy Pop, Lou Reed, and the New York Dolls. Bruce Springsteen, Bob Marley, and Aerosmith all played important gigs here, too. So I'm just a block away from CBGB's? And behind me is Albert's Garden. And despite the fact it's closed for the winter, the groundskeeper, Nick, let me come in and take a picture of where the Ramones took their very first album cover. Look. Then Nick showed me where the Ramones used to live, right on the 3rd floor of this building. All right, this one is a big one. Where you see the black awning, that was CBGB's. It was a New York City music venue opened in 1973 by Hilly Crystal. CBGB's stood for country, bluegrass, and blues, which Hilly thought was going to be the future of music. Now what he got instead is something so new and exciting it didn't even have a name yet, but it would be called punk rock. Television, the Ramones, Patti Smith Group, Blondie, the Talking Heads, and Pat Ryan all got their start at CBGB's. The retail space that's in there now kept a bunch of the graffiti and posters from the original space. Excuse me, do you know what street this is?
It's 4th Street.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Positively 4th Street. I need to go That way. Take a wrong turn down 4th Street, and you never know what you might find. Finally, Hotel Chelsea. It was built between 1883 and 1885. Most notably, it has housed countless artists, poets, and musicians like Mark Twain, O. Henry, Dylan Thomas, William Burroughs, Sam Shepard, and Allen Ginsberg. The musicians include the Grateful Dead, Tom Waits, Iggy Pop, Johnny Thunders, Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan, Jimi Hendrix, and Sid Vicious. It's closed for renovations right now, but when it opens up, I'd like to see what's inside. It's hard to imagine how one city could inspire so much art and music. That is, until you see New York, and then it's hard imagining it happening anywhere else. Thanks, New York. I can't wait to come back, but I've only just started exploring this planet, and I just can't wait to see what else is out there.